What is happening, beautiful people? We have the coach, Carrie Irene, in the house.
Hey, y'all.
How you feeling, Sister Queen?
How you doing, Cousin Brandy?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely amazing.
The
Yes, I am Brandy, the Disconnected. Welcome to our show, The Coach and the Disconnected. We are continuing with our theme of the month of music, and we have a special guest in the building that will be joining us in just a little bit here. But before we jump into that, Carrie, how's this week been treating you? And what have you experienced that have given you just that little bit of push towards further growth in life?
Ooh-wee. I've had a lot of pushes towards growth every day, even just today. But I will say, what did it for me this week? This week, I'd say coming through adversity. It's getting to the point in my adult life, in my free life, my free thinking life, knowing that I make all of the decisions and nothing happens unless it goes through me life. I'm realizing that adversity is never bad. Right. Everything is good because everything teaches me something about myself. We spend so much time learning about other people, what makes them tick, but we don't want to do that because, no, don't say that because they're going to act like that. I've been spending time knowing what irritates me and realizing what's within that I need to shed. So adversity, I am celebrating adversity this week. What about you? What did it for you today that pushed you towards just better?
Man. I could definitely say it's something very similar. There's a lot going on in my family right now, and I'm having to keep my head on straight and not let certain things that I actually can't control affect me in a negative way. Right. And it's not to say that what's going on isn't absolutely important, because it really is. It's just that a lot of us are having to take up responsibilities that should not be on us as the grandchildren in the situation. But it is what it is. We're going to get it handled, and we're going to come out on top like we normally do. There's just a segment of individuals that will probably remain, let's just say, in their own worlds after said situation and situations have been handled accordingly. So it is what it is. Ain't nothing to be upset about, really, because everything that's going on is simply a part of life.
You got that right. That's exactly
right. The only thing you can do, especially when you got people in your life that live into their 80s, late 80s and 90s, is appreciate that they were here and love on them while you still have them, and gain the knowledge and wisdom that they have to share with you before they depart this earth of ours.
Very true. Very true. There's so much to be learned from people who are pushed against a wall. And one of the biggest walls that we will ever be pushed against is death. So I completely agree with that. Yep. Indeed. So I'm ready to get the show started.
Yes, ma'am. Michelle Johnson in the house. What's going on, Free PA?
What's going on? Ashima. I did that. I seen it in the comments. I never see Shima in the comments. Ashima. Had to do it.
What is up, Angelique Johnson?
The artist.
A lot of Johnsons in the house tonight.
Right.
And Ryan King in the house. Hello, Brother King.
What's up? It's good to see y'all out there. It's so good when you just see. It's like your friend showed up, to your poetry reading at Starbucks.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Hey, girl, hey.
So before we jump into things, y'all know we have our segments every week. So this week's segment is Carrie's to have. And she's going to be bringing in the chatter.
The chatter, y'all.
So without further ado, we are going to smoothly run into a short commercial break, and then Carrie will be bringing you her segment for the week, the chatter. So stick around, hold tight, and we'll be right back.
I'm crazy.
We know.
absolutely love that intro. I've gotta say it. That's probably the best, my favorite intro that I've ever made, and it was for me. And I'm very proud of that intro. So today's segment of the chatter, I've slipped the last couple Mondays because I said I was going to post on YouTube every Monday, but good things have been altering my path. And there's always been an excuse. You know, the excuse is always valid because it's really legit the things that are happening in my life. So as I went on and throughout my days, as things got in the way, I started to reflect on what it really meant to have a bad day. So I was going through some of the things that I have written in the past, and I came across a poem that I wrote years ago, but it fits so perfectly to right now because there's been some nights where I haven't really been able to sleep for one reason or another. It doesn't really matter the reason. I just, sometimes when you're up and you can't sleep, that's when your brain just really starts to going and going and going, and you reflect on your days. So I was thinking about like some of the days that I've had, and if we had to categorize it and we had to put a label on it, which we never should, but for the sake of telling my story today, if we would have put it in the category of a bad day, sometimes it really alters us in how we can relax, how we can release, and how we see and filter everything else that happens in our lives. So as when I found this poem that I wrote is so perfect for now because it's exactly what I was feeling just this week, and I wrote this years ago. So I wanted to share it with you to see if maybe you can relate to what this poem is saying, and then I'll break it down and tell you what it means to me. And I would love to hear in the comments what it meant to you. So as I'm reading it, it's very short. I want you to write in the comments what you're thinking about. Have you had those days? Have you been up at night? What do you think about when you're laying in bed? For me, I typically think of lyrics, not to songs though, but to poetry or to ballads or to soliloquies. I love to write. So this is what came to me one night. The name of it is PM. P.M. PM. What if yesterday wasn't my bad day? What if it was collectively mourning? What if it was my turn to absorb some of the pains of the collective spirit? That was growing weary. I'm going to say that part again. What if it was my turn to absorb some of the pains of the collective spirit that was growing weary? My grand rising. I would gladly hold space for the relief of the world. So that is PM. So I want you all to tell me what you think that means or what it means to you, because that's truly what really counts. But I do want to share with you what it meant to me. I named it PM because as I watched PM disappear into AM, because after midnight, we back at the next day. So anytime you're laying in bed and you see that change, you actually realize how it all is kind of one, right? It's all kind of just intertwined, and the things that we take from yesterday ends up showing up in our todays and tomorrows if we're not able to let it go. But I think the reason why we hold on to it a lot of times is because we see it as ours. When you have a bad day, this day is connected to everyone else's day. So maybe it's not your bad day. Maybe it's just a day that is your turn to absorb something that's happening around you or within you. Because this day is connected to everybody's day. And we collectively have to mourn at times. There's nothing that can happen to one of us that doesn't affect all of us. So as one day runs into another, I run into you. You run into me. So I want to read this poem one more time and think about it the way that I said it. Okay? So the name of it is PM. And that was really my salutation of saying goodbye and releasing my responsibility for this day that I categorize as bad. What if yesterday wasn't my bad day? What if it wasn't my bad day? What if it was collectively mourning? What if it was my turn to absorb some of the pains for the collective spirit that was growing weary? My grand rising. Because now we've entered from PM to AM, right? And it's my turn to stand up and hold on to some of your grief. So in my bad days, I've decided to turn it around and see it as just me being a part of the collective and just doing my part that day of holding some of the grief. We take turns in happiness and grief, good and bad, ups and downs. But it's not just your bad day. It's also my bad day. And like the last line says, I will gladly hold space for the relief of the world. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So that is PM. I would love to hear what y'all want to say about it in the comments because I love to write. And if anyone wants to exchange writing and stuff, let me know. Let your girl know because this is what I do. This is what I love. This is my favorite pastime. And that is actually an excerpt from my book that'll be coming out soon. So y'all let me know if you want an early copy because this coming. So I'm going to read this one more time. PM. What if yesterday wasn't my bad day? What if I was collectively mourning? What if it was my turn to absorb some of the pain for the collective spirit that was growing weary? My grand rising. I would gladly hold space for the relief of the world. Woohoo! I can't hear you, Brandy. Brandy, where you at, Brandy?
We back.
That girl just a talking.
Yeah. But Michelle says the collective spirit.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Ashe, my sister. Absolutely.
And Ryan says, I run into you, you run into me.
Yes,
Make me want to sing Whitney Houston, Run to You.
Sing it.
Well, the
Sing
theme
it,
still is music. All right, y'all.
Good.
So we have reached the point in which it is time to bring in our amazing special guest. Her name is Princess Warrington, also known as Princess Kiera, as far as her singing goes. And she also has a wonderful single on YouTube that I would like to share with everybody. But first and foremost, let's bring her in so you guys can get to meet her. She is absolutely amazing. So, without further ado, let's bring her in. Princess in the house. Hey, Princess, thank you for joining us this fine evening.
Oh, you're on mute too. You're glowing though, by the way.
There you go.
Radiant.
I can't help it. That's what I do. Oh, you unmuted me. Thank you. How are you all?
Fabulous. How are you doing today, Princess?
Princess is princess.
Yay! I like your good answer. Good answer.
And I normally tell people, like, how are you? I'm like, I'm dope per usual.
Dope.
I'm dope per usual.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Really lovely. So thank you so much for being with us tonight. Just share your story, your gift, and your time.
Thank you for having me. I
Absolutely.
appreciate
Our
it.
Wonderful.
absolute pleasure. So, guys, the reason why we definitely want you to stay tuned in this evening is because Princess actually has a special announcement she'll be dropping towards the end of the show. So, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned because you know how we feel about personal development and growth and just awesome connections. So, this surprise is going to set a lot of y'all on fire. So, stick
Yeah,
around for that.
Woo
So, Princess,
woo.
tell us a little bit about yourself because I know you're a singer songwriter, but there's so much more to you than that.
there is. And every day, honestly, I'm still learning me. And I've
Yeah,
learned to do that by spending time with me, spending
yeah,
necessary alone time with me to be like, okay, what do you like? What can you tolerate? What can't you tolerate? What makes you
yeah,
happy? What makes you feel anything other than happy? Like what are those moments for you? And
Mhm.
I love the alone time, the intimate time that I have with myself. I love it. And it could very well mean
yeah.
just going somewhere driving. Now me, I love to drive. I love to drive. I don't have any kids. 31. I just turned 31 this month on the 7th.
Happy
um,
birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, just turned 31. I don't have any kids. I'm committed to me. So with that being said, I get up and go whenever I want.
That's awesome.
And that's when I really just, sometimes I'll be in the car, no music on. It's just me thinking, praying, meditating, things like that. So,
That's good.
um, and I had to learn that when you are so used to always being that energy source for other people, you can tend to forget to have that same amount of energy, if not more, for
Mm.
yourself. So that comes from pouring.
Message.
Right, right.
Look, time stamped that about 19 minutes in, y'all.
Okay, at
Time stamped that
1919, the
19 minutes
whole
in.
angel number.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you, Antoinette Williams. Thank you. I appreciate it,
Yes.
boo. Okay, and thank you, Is that Angelique? That's
And
my name in
Angelique.
French. Hey, sis. Hey, hey, Paul. Oh my goodness. Oh
What's
my
up,
gosh. Thank
Paul?
y'all so much for tapping in. These are my friends.
That's
Paul. I
awesome.
worked with Paul at Kroger. Paul is
What's up,
awesome.
Paul?
Paul is awesome.
You
Love
you our
Paul.
new friend, Paul.
Okay, yeah, y'all would love Paul. I'm telling you what I know. Good people. But yeah, that's some of the basic foundations of who I am. That's some. But
Right.
yeah,
Beautiful. So you know, I want to know, where did you get your start in the music side of things? Where did you start learning not only about music, but that you had a voice and a very beautiful, powerful one at that?
thank
Very
you.
beautiful voice, yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, so my whole family on my mom's side, music. From my great grandmother, my grandma. Now my great grandmother, she played guitar and stride
Wow.
piano, and the
Nice.
blues. Oh my goodness. Then my grandmother, the same, and my grandmother sings. Um, I'm a, I love my mother. My mother told me back in the day she had this voice, and more than one person has said it that she had this beautiful, beautiful voice, and she still sings, around the house or whatever. But and I love my mama's voice. Honestly, I do. But I'm gonna say it kind of went a little bit over her, and she gave it to my sister,
I
who
went a little bit over.
she gave it to my sister. My mother is the goat, though. Like
Yeah,
my mom is the absolute goat.
yeah.
Period.
Mama's
So,
always the go.
Mama can
Mama's the goat.
blow, but
Yeah,
Princess can
yeah.
slang.
Right.
Right.
I'm telling you what I know. But so my older sister, Ebony Lomax Harper, she definitely she was my very first favorite star. Like my sister, what she
Nice.
grew up doing Broadway.
Yeah.
She grew up doing any and everything. And the girl can play keys and so many different instruments, a drummer, she writes. And then with me, when it came to me, when I was younger, I had a horrible, horrible Trey Songz and Smokey Robinson yodel. Okay, like it was really bad. It was really bad. I'm gonna be so serious when I
Smoking.
y'all, it was bad. It was
I can't,
so
I'm
Beyonce.
trying to not let myself get too deep in that laugh because that was funny.
Listen, my mom, um, when I was a little girl, Beyonce had this movie called Carmen Hip Hopstra or something like that.
I loved that movie when it
Right? Do
came
you
out.
remember it? Right.
Yeah.
So there's this one part in the movie, and she's singing the Y Club. She was getting a reading done, which I love, and I didn't realize what that was back then, but totally into it. She was getting a reading done, and she was singing, "No, no, 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 I don't want, I don't want to go." Right? So that's what it was supposed to sound like, y'all. But I let that joke out. It was
That's what it's supposed to sound like.
it was supposed to sound like that, and you couldn't tell me I want young Beyonce. So I'm singing it, and I cannot believe I'm about to do this, but I'm about to do it because whatever. But it came out no, and it was just so trembling, and my mama. My mom came to the door, and I'll never ever forget this. She was like, "Girl, don't no sheep live in this house." To this day, to this
Oh
day,
God, you're
I
like,
be
we
like,
gotta
"Do you
get
remember
together.
saying that? Do you remember saying that to me? Because I remember that, you know." But and
Did she
then
remember?
she remembered, and she said, "Yeah, yeah, I do." She
I
said, "Write
meant
that
that
shit
too.
down."
And
Right.
I'm, yeah.
So one day I woke up, and I always mimic my sister. And my sister can play everything by ear, and I picked that up from her too. I play keys a little bit, and by a little bit, I literally mean like I can play like maybe two songs or whatever. But I know the rhythm of it. I know the rhythm, and I can play. And I picked it up by ear, so I play by ear. Um, I don't know any notes. I think that is a foreign language. And shout out to anybody who is a musician that can just read notes and
Right?
just tell you that's a B sharp or a
Right.
A minor or whatever. That's not me, but I can pick it up.
There you go.
I can pick it up. But then wait, there is more. So my sister, I have two beautiful nieces. Oh my God. I have a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old niece. And my 14-year-old actually has gone very, very far in her career in music. She
Wow.
was on the Ellen show when she was 10. Her name is Brianna Harper.
Okay.
Mhm. She was on the Ellen show when she was 10. Amazing. And then from
Aw.
there, her and my best friend, they went viral. They went viral singing "Ain't No Mountain High Enough."
Nice. That's so cool.
Right.
To
Yep.
like really
So
get
shout
that,
out.
'cause when a lot of times people do like crazy stuff, and I give kudos to that too because a lot of the crazy stuff we think is just flukes. A lot of people put a lot of thought and practice into those flukes. But like
Mhm.
for her, doing that and doing something she truly loves, and actually people are like, yeah, that's got to be a good feeling.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. To this day, I still tell her like, "Hey, baby,
Mm.
God really understood the assignment.
Right.
He
Ooh-wee.
understood the assignment when it comes to her. When it comes to Kayla, Kayla sings. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, that's where music is just naturally in my family.
That's so cool.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So
Thank
I
cool.
you.
love it. So, being the music is in your family, right?
Mhm.
Where did you find yourself geared towards, like, as you grew up, right? Were you more into secular music or ministry? Because I know you do both.
I do both. I was in a little of both, if I could be honest. I always lean more so towards secular. R&B is my whole heart and soul. It is.
Your
My
voice reminds me of that. When I
Mm-hmm.
heard your song, it gave me faith in the younger generation again.
wow.
Because you know
Thank
how
you.
ratchet stuff has gotten. And your
Yeah.
song is just a beautiful just song that just y'all are gonna get to hear in just a little bit here. It's hard to
Mm-hmm.
describe because
Yeah.
you're so used to the
Thank
ratchetness and the
you.
off the top stuff, the vulgarity and everything going on in
Listen.
music. And this is just a beautiful song that you can listen to no matter what genre or era of R&B that you're used to. This
Very
covers it
nice.
all.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you
what
so much.
actually, y'all, what we about to do is
What's up?
Oh, we about to do.
What we about to do?
we are going to take a short listen to a part of your song.
Okay,
And
that's
we want
fair.
everybody's feedback because I absolutely love it. And I definitely want to hear what everybody else has to say about this as well.
Oh my God, y'all, thank you. So yeah. Tell me what
So
y'all
good.
think.
Un momento. Okay.
I know this world ain't gone crazy, but in you I found my peace. And somehow you take away my fears and remove my anxiety. Oh, there's a magic in your touch that makes my soul crave only you. And boy, you know I just can't get enough of the way you do what you do. Oh, I wanna know, what did you do to me that got me feeling like this? Our energies together, nothing else feels better. True love exists. I love this power. Your mindset takes me higher. Cloud nine is too low for us. Elevation is the goal for us. I love your difference. The way we guide it's perfect. Being with you makes life complete. Whoa, like you made for me, baby. I could love you till the moon and back. Morning, baby. I could love you till the moon and back. Hey. I could love you till the moon and back.
All right. Now y'all gotta go check it out yourself. You gotta go check it out yourself.
Okay.
Antoinette Marie says she need her copy now.
Listen, thank
She
you.
need it. She need it now.
It's
Right
free
now.
on all digital platforms, whether you have YouTube, Spotify,
Come on.
Apple, uh, all digital platforms. That's
Yes,
where it's
ma'am.
at.
I'm not the only one that loves this song. That's why I'm so
Right.
excited about music that you have. I know you have music in the works, but at the same time, I also want to know about this group that you're a part of too, man.
The group that I'm okay. So okay. So I'm a part. I am. I am. And it's called One Sound. Shout out to One Sound, Solomon Hill. How I even got connected with them is just so crazy. It's so crazy. The pastor of the church where we'll be singing was actually my fifth period choir teacher, Marvin Gilliam.
Nice.
I like
And
this
I
story
didn't
already.
know, crazy, right? I didn't know that the guy knew Mr. Gilliam. I didn't know that. And I also did not know the lady who tagged me in his post knew the guy. The way it happened, and I was like, okay, God, the divinity of it, I love it. Do your work. I love that. Yeah, so One Sound, beautiful things are in the works for that. Beautiful things. And I'm just very thankful to be a part of it. Very, very thankful. It's so much talent. It is so much talent in Richmond, Virginia alone.
I bet.
Oh my God.
Well, some of the best artists come out of Virginia in general.
Oh
You
yes.
talking Timbaland, Missy Elliott,
And
Trey
they do well.
Songz, Chris Brown.
They do
Stop
well.
bragging. No, I'm just kidding.
They do very well.
North Carolina has some few. I just don't know who they are.
Oh, that's where you're from? You're from North Carolina?
Yeah.
What part?
It's called Shelby.
Okay.
You ain't heard of that, have you?
Never.
You heard of Charlotte?
I've heard of Charlotte.
That's where I used to tell people I'm from, because no one's heard of
Because
Shelby.
nobody's heard of Charlotte. That's okay. Friend. It's okay.
Man,
Friend.
I love that little boy.
Brandy put the YouTube in there, and I did her link. And yeah, y'all check her out. Get her stuff, man.
And make sure y'all
Listen.
follow me too, please. Please. Oh, Paul, what'd you say? Prince and her family of great singers, including Evan and the Dog. Thank you, Paul. See, I told you, Paul comes
Yes.
through.
We all gotta have them kind of friends now.
Okay.
I know that's right.
Especially when you leveling up in life, because Those are the ones that are rooting for you no matter what. Because
No
what I
matter
love
what.
is I love my friends that like they might not want to drive to the levels of things that I want to drive to, but they always there supporting in any way that they can.
Come
And
on.
if they ain't got nothing nice to say, they just be quiet for a little
Come
while
on.
and watch
That,
what I do and figure out, well, okay, let me figure out what I want to do with my life now, okay?
I get it. I totally understand that.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Okay, Casey and JoJo Fantasia, the goats.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of nobody.
The goats.
Oh,
Right. So now into a little bit more serious subject matter here. Now
Okay.
I know you've been through a lot of challenges. At one point in time, you had actually reached out to me about becoming my client, and
Mhm.
just things were too crazy at the time. You had a lot of events going on in life, so I want to know a little bit about some of your challenges that you faced that has still contributed to your continued growth.
So are we how far back are we talking? Are we talking like in recent years?
Hey,
Recent.
start wherever you like.
wherever you
Whatever
fall,
events have, yeah, whatever events have helped mold you to continue to grow in the ways that you have. Because I've seen you evolve just a little. I've only known you a year and a half, 2 years, and I only keep tabs on you here and there on Facebook and everything. When I can reach out, I do. But for the most part, you stay busy, girl. But I've seen the growth myself, and I don't even
Thank
know
you.
you as well as some of the people that know you and see you in your everyday life.
Mm. Oh my gosh, all the feels. Thank you. I appreciate that because that just goes to show you really never know who's watching. So that's why it's important to keep going.
yes, man.
So no, honestly, that means a lot. If we're gonna start well, why not go as far back as to childhood? You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
childhood. Now, y'all see her. She's this gorgeous BBW, but then I had to look at those letters too. I shouldn't have to say that I'm a big, beautiful woman, but growing up, I never even thought that I was beautiful, y'all. I used to have this thing where I didn't even really appreciate my name too much because I was always picked on. I
Mm.
was bullied in elementary school. It stopped in high school because,
Yeah.
but yeah, it had to. I was
Yes, it
bullied,
did.
and
Yeah.
kids are relentless,
They are.
so no
Right.
filter, none
Right.
whatsoever. So I was more so of a loner in school, in elementary school, middle school. Had friends, I did. But high school is when I saw that I really blossomed. And when I met Mr. Gilliam, I mean, I was so shy. My ninth grade year, I will never forget that. I was so shy. I went to George with High School. Thank
Mm.
you, gorgeous. Thank you. I don't know if y'all are familiar with George with High School.
I've heard of it, but I'm not originally from VA, so I couldn't tell
I
you what
tell
it's
you
at.
what, I'm gonna be here for you. Have you seen Lean on Me?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So my
Yes. It's
high
one of my
school
favorites.
was the Fair East Side High
I love
of
it.
Richmond, Virginia. It was. Listen,
Okay.
it definitely was. So me coming from the background that I came from, then being in the school zone with so many different cities. So you got some of South Side, East End, whatever. They're all coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, in my honest opinion, it turned out to be a zoo. I was like, it is crazy in here, but I loved it. It was,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, because I was sheltered. Me and my sister both, we were very, very much so sheltered. My mom raised us single parent. But when I tell you my mom was a goat, she is, and I mean that. But she raised us, and she did wonderful. She did a great job, a beautiful job. But when I get to this school, people who are not raised like I'm raised,
Hello.
it's like, whoa,
Right.
People who
what
were
is
failed by
that?
their parents altogether, and you were thrown in the
Oh
mix in
my
the
goodness,
melee.
it was so different. So I had to find out who I was,
Yeah.
and develop that as soon as possible because it was clicks all the time in school.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, clicked up. So I had to.
So I got a quick question then. Did
Mhm.
you have your principles, morals, and values tested in that environment?
Oh yeah, definitely,
Every
definitely.
environment.
I learned so much things that I did not know
Yeah.
existed. I learned through high school. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, got you. That's how that is. Got you.
Got
Say
you.
less. But when I was there, again, I was so shy. I was so reserved. I didn't know who I wanted to be around or whatever. If I knew who I didn't want to be around based off of, how I would see how other people were. But then it was like, I still want to come out of this shell. I want to burst out. I just want to be, And
Mm.
I'll never forget when Apple Bottom and Rockaware and Baby Fat came out. And I know that both of y'all have had some of their clothing at some point. Out of some of those lines that I just
True
named, some
story.
of
True
them had.
story.
I know it. I did too. And then they messed around and made the plus size section for those clothes. And my mama made sure I was in it. So that boosted my confidence to a degree. And then I noticed I was becoming a little bit more popular, still kind of shy or reserved, but I thought that the clothes was just, whatever, fine. Y'all, it's boosting me up
Good
at
job,
this
Mama. Good job.
something like that. Until one day I went to the choir hall, and that's where I met Mr. Gilliam. I was so shy, y'all. I auditioned in front of this man with my back turned to him. So shy. What? And what is going
No way.
on? But my sister also went to WIF too, and so did my mom and my grandmother. So I always heard about the school.
Right.
But when I got there, I think things were just totally different. So I was just so shy. I didn't want people to know that I could sing. I didn't want to do any of that till one day I just walked over to his class, skipped my class, went to his class. To oh, she was a skipper. um I skipped my class and went to Mr. Gilliam's class, and I sang for him with my back turned to him the whole time. And I'm just standing there shaking. And he was like, "Girl, you can sing." And I'm like,
Just
"Oh my
thinking
gosh,
that
thank you so
though.
much." And after I joined the choir is when I started to come out more of my shell. I did. I started to be more active, with hanging out with different people, and yeah, that was that. But I
I
also
just
put
want
my
to pause
hmm,
of how that story unfolded. Like, we were introduced to this shy girl,
very
and she
shy.
was so shy that she had to in she had to interview. What is it called? Audition. You had to
Audition.
Audition.
audition with your back turned. Yet the
That's funny.
power in that is she skipped class to do it.
I skipped class. Period. Skipped it.
No, do y'all see the irony there? Is it just me? She was so bold that she was like, I know I'm shy and I'm just going to have to go do it shy.
Come on.
If that ain't a lesson, come
I had to
on.
shoot my shot.
Well, here we go. All right, y'all. Before we move on,
I
we got to
love
take a short commercial break.
it. Okay,
After
Okay.
the break, we'll be back and we'll be getting more into
I'm going to sit now.
her growth process over the years.
Ooh, and still growing.
And we are back. Did you miss us? Did you guys miss us? You totally missed us.
I missed
All right.
y'all.
So Angelique said, shoot your shot. And that's
Shoot your
exactly
shot
what you did.
and don't miss.
That's right.
Hey, even if you miss,
Don't
do
even
it
try.
again.
Even if you miss. But my goal was not to miss.
That's
It was
right.
not to miss. So yeah, after all of that, and then I started discovering a lot of different traits about myself. I had moles on my face that had never been there before. Like I just started
Really?
blossoming, just started coming into
That's so cool.
princess. I'm sorry, say it again.
I said that's so cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Beauty
Thank
marks,
you.
like beauty marks.
Love it. And they're just
Yeah,
strategically placed. And I'm like, God, you just understand the assignment. You get it.
I love
You
it.
get
I
it.
absolutely love
You
it.
get it. And I had to start thinking differently.
Hmm.
You're not just this plus size girl in school who's different looking or different shaped or different size from everybody else. You're so much more than that, honey.
Oh my
You're
God, yeah.
so much more than that. I'm
You're a princess.
I'm a princess, for God's sake. I'm a princess.
And that's the thing. You're not a princess. You are
I'm the
princess.
princess. And I
Yes.
own that. I own
Yeah.
that
I
now. I
love it.
have to. But that's just being completely honest about it, y'all. That took time to
Yeah.
actually understand I was more than just a name. That this is actually who I am,
Yeah.
a internally a
Right.
princess.
Yeah.
So after high school, I kept singing off and on, not really consistent as much as I really wanted to be.
Hmm.
Um, Still love to write music, love to do all of that. And I love being around people who love music. I love all genres of it. I was in an all white progressive white band about 2015, the only black one in it. And I was
Nice.
up there. What?
Nice. That's
What? The
awesome.
name of the band is called One Truth. The lead singer's name is JC, and I have to shout him out too
Yeah,
because he
look,
also gave me. He
I'm
gave
gonna
me
give you a nickname. You was the truth. What
yeah,
truth?
he
That's
he
fun. I love
definitely he gave me an opportunity. I performed at the
it.
Hippodrome,
Mm.
which is iconic in Richmond because of
Yeah,
how long it's
it's a
been there. So
historic
what?
amphitheater.
And my godfather owned it at
Yeah.
one point.
Oh,
Now, do
Mhm.
they still perform?
I don't know if that. No, I believe it's
Okay.
just him now, a solo artist. He's a great artist, also. So I
Okay.
mean,
Well, yeah.
congratulations and
Shoot,
shout
tag,
out to
tag them
him.
in the comments, and people in Virginia. Hey, you
Hmm.
gotta support musicians.
Absolutely.
Period. You know.
Absolutely. So
Hmm.
then as time went on, I had a dating life. I tried that out a few times. I tried it out. And I was in a relationship for about 5 years.
Okay.
My ex was, it was good for what it was. It really was. I was young. I was young. It
Yeah.
was what, 18 when I met him.
Okay.
And I learned a lot about myself too.
Yeah.
Oof. You talking about looking back? Y'all ever have situations where you look back, or moments in your life when you're looking back over old situations in your life, and you gotta laugh and be like, "Whoa, that was me!" Like,
I
yeah.
know.
what happened?
If
And you
no
have
one
to look
asks,
back
I'm
at that,
never
and
gonna
you
talk
get
about it
deep.
again.
Cause I was like, I really don't know who I thought I was.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But but God.
My God.
Agreed. I got an ex out there that like he is the reason why I met my husband, and I thank him every
Okay.
day.
Listen. Oh my
Hello.
gosh. And
Oh Lord. Mm-mm.
Lord have mercy. But along the way of that, outside of even learning what it was like to be in a relationship, I had to learn what it was like to be in a relationship with me. I had a
Mm-hmm.
high school
Mm.
sweetheart and everything. Y'all, I made the yearbook. I didn't tell you that. She made the yearbook twice. Made the yearbook twice. And my high school sweetheart, that's who I thought I was married to with kids. Mm-mm,
Right.
that won't even it. So that that
Tell
won't
us how
even
you really feel,
it
princess.
again. But God, so very thankful
But
for
yeah, because
that.
Virginia's one of those states too that a lot of our young ladies like they get out of high school and they're like, guess it's time to get married, start a family. And sometimes we skip the marriage part and just start having kids, and then you're like,
Skip the
damn
marriage.
it, you get to our age, you're like,
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something my mama taught me. She said, when you get married, ask God for a marriage and not a wedding, because it's a difference. A lot of
Yeah.
people just fixate on the most
Right.
people just fixate on this big ceremony, and that's what you feel like is going to pull you and your spouse. And now, mind you, I'm not married, but I've seen this so much. Don't be
Right.
so fixated on the ceremony. Focus on this person that you're committing to spend the rest of your life
Got that right.
That part. When I tell you I did not even want a wedding, the only reason we had
with.
one was because our mothers were like, if you don't have a wedding, you're gonna regret it.
Okay.
So we got married, we had a wedding, and we got married on my mother's birthday, so she'd never
Oh,
forget the
that's so
anniversary.
special. That is very
That
It
special.
is.
was a special day too.
Yeah.
It was one of my Sour Patch moments. She
Okay,
wanted
I
a
get
wedding,
it.
so she got a wedding. And she also got a wedding on a day she'd never forget my anniversary.
I see what you did there. I see it.
Penny.
I see it. It's right there. I see it. It
I'm just
makes
saying, we
sense.
got married because y'all said, well, we were going to get married regardless, but we had a wedding because y'all said.
We're gonna regret it if we don't.
I've been happy regardless because my husband is amazing.
I love that
That's what
so
matters.
much.
That's
I
all
love
that
that so
matters.
much.
But
Yeah,
you
so
guys, so we are coming up on the last 10 minutes of the show, which means
okay.
it's about that time when you drop that surprise, man. So, shall we count it down? Shall we count it down? You ready? Here
Count
we
it
go.
down, girl. Count it down.
So, Princess, what
Yes, ma'am.
is your special announcement, ma'am?
Okay, are you ready?
We ready.
Okay, do you have what I sent you?
I showing up do.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, my special announcement is that as of September the 27th and August the 2nd of 2021, I am now a certified professional life coach as well.
Now, why is this so exciting to us? Because you guys, she is the coach, I am the disconnector, and we are both ICS certified life coaches
Woo,
Yeah,
that
love
have
it.
dealt with fake coaches and gurus that led us to create this show. And the reason why I'm so
Wow.
excited, like y'all, you have no idea how excited I am that Princess is also a life coach because this young lady is so big hearted, but she is also a product of her own work. Do you
Come
have
on.
any idea how rare it is to find a life coach that has
Mm,
actually been through some things
you're
that
right.
listen,
isn't in it for the money, but it's in it for the change and the impact that they can have on somebody.
Right.
absolutely. And that's what it's about. Y'all, I've always known that it's a passion of mine to help, just to help, to serve. The
Mm-hmm.
servitude in me just is like, hey, I know that life is really crazy and everybody has their own circumstances. And just even if you are finding yourself getting off track and you know that you have a specific goal, you wake up every morning. Thank you, Ryan King. You wake up every morning knowing um
Break it down.
Hey,
Down.
that's entirely up to you, Sister Queen.
we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, just helping to get your to get you back on that track, on that path, because I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like. I know about reaching out to Brandy like, hey, I need some time.
Hey.
I need some time with you. I'm trying to figure out what is it, what's my niche? What's my niche?
Mm-hmm.
People say it however they want to, but what is that? What is that for me? And once
Mm-hmm.
I identified and I was like, oh yeah,
That's it.
that is, thank you so much, Angelique. That is something that I know for sure I can do. And now the goal for me is to not only coach, to be a life coach, but a singing life coach at that. I want my music to be so therapeutic for you that you cannot go past track 3. It's
Yeah.
stuck on repeat because
Yeah.
that one just really resonates with you.
Yeah.
But I want all of my music to be that way, you
Right.
know? And so I know I can do this. I know I can do it. And I love meeting new people. I love networking. I love hearing other people's stories. I
Mm.
love that because everybody has a page before they came to where they are now. We all have a page or pages to our past. We do.
Yeah,
Page,
Let's
pages,
be
chapters,
honest.
entire
yeah,
volumes.
We
yeah.
all do. But just be very thankful that you're not still stuck on chapter one.
Well,
Y'all listen. Randy, you know what she talking like?
Who?
She talking like a 52 is what she talking like. She kind of sound like a 52. Everybody in the comments, if you know what I mean by 52, let me know if you think she talking like a 52. I'll
What is a
explain it to you.
52?
I'll explain it to you offline.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you know. She talking like a 52.
go ahead, explain that, Clary.
Huh?
Go ahead, explain that.
Okay, so 52 is ATBA Impact Group is a nonprofit, and our main focus is number one, planting seeds of change on a consistent basis, positive seeds of change on a consistent basis. Our number two initiative is to eliminate competition by collaboration.
Mm.
Well,
ATBA Impact Group is building a base of 52 people that will change the game when it comes to networking and community building. And just the way that she talks is just talking my language.
Oh
So and I
wow.
ain't gonna go too deep in that 52 because the 52 are called. They're chosen. They're not like
Come on.
I hand pick them myself, but I never look for them. They always find me.
they fall into our circle and our tribe, and we love it.
Just
No
I
saying.
love
chasing
that.
nothing. It
Yeah,
all
I
falls
love
in a
that.
place
Thank
where we
you.
grow into the people we need to be for it to appear.
come on,
Come
Brandy.
on, Brandy.
Indeed, indeed.
I
I love
love that. What
And
okay,
Elise said,
I'll
yes!
take it. 52 it is.
Princess Week.
She said,
Okay, because
when
definitely
you know, you know.
yes, Carrie. When
That
you know,
part.
you know.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So
I
yeah,
love that
this has been
though.
a great conversation. I'm so glad you came with us today. Like
I'm
I,
so thankful to be
mhm.
invited, to be thought of. Brandy, thank you so much.
Oh, well,
Um,
definitely.
thank
I,
you.
I you better be around more often, ma'am. Especially since I
Oh
found out that new
yes.
information about you being a certified life coach on
She's
top of it all.
certified.
I'm always looking for because
She
you
is.
know my specialty, y'all. If y'all don't know what my specialty is I am the disconnector. I'm pulling the plug on dysfunction. But once I pull the plug on
Mm.
dysfunction and get you to that right mindset, you need
Mhm.
another coach after that. That's why our motto for this show is your coach should
Should
have a coach. Because
Yes,
if anybody that you're dealing with thinks they know it all and they don't have anybody mentoring or influencing them, at
that's a
Mm-hmm.
some
problem.
point it always becomes corrupt or let's just say it doesn't come from the purest place when it
Come
gets
on.
down to that point. When you think you know it all, or if you're scary enough to know you know it all,
Hmm.
you're not somebody I want to
You're
deal with because
dangerous.
the exactly the goal of life is to continue to grow, and as Tidra was saying earlier, and you guys will get to see Tidra not next month, but the month after. Next month we're going to be focusing on writers and authors. But the
Mm.
month after that, we're focusing on financial experts, and Tidra is going to be coming into the conversation there. But she said earlier in a post, in fact, I think it was even a live stream, she wants to die empty. How can you
Yes,
die empty
I
if you don't
see
continue to evolve?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, and this is another one. Um, growth has no expiration date.
Ding ding.
It doesn't. It
Right.
doesn't have an expiration date. You can be 73 years old, still learning, and that's okay. That's okay. But get all of this out of you before your last breath, because dying full means that you've done what you wanted to do when you were blessed with the gift of life, and you didn't do all that you were supposed to do. So
Right.
I'd rather die empty. I'd rather
Absolutely.
do
Agreed.
that.
Agreed. Because it's because of people. When I think about some of the things that I have to identify were incorrect or incomplete as far as my knowledge that have been passed down to me by
Mhm.
elders or people that have just influenced me through life, and I realized how much of it was incomplete or just completely incorrect. Um, I went on to pursue the things that I needed in order to connect with and achieve the things that I know that I want to get out of this life, but also help others with.
That's good.
But it takes a different type of individual to say, I love you guys, but you're wrong.
Come on.
And then say, okay, I still love you guys, and I know you're getting older, and this and that is going on. But at the same time, it's my responsibility to set a foundation so that I don't do the same thing to the next generation coming behind me.
Mm,
Whether it be my own children, my nieces and nephews, my younger cousins, whoever it may be, those
mm,
that I am ahead of and need to set a good example for. And the
mm,
example doesn't even need to be set for the generation coming behind me, because I've taught my own parents different things, evolving and
mm.
pursuing different things on a different level.
Right.
And I
That's
became
right.
okay with that. At one point in time, you got your elders like, you ain't gonna tell me what to do, which is
Exactly.
fine. I don't want to tell you what to do. But even that
Mhm.
Bible that you have in your hand that you are so fond of says, from the mouth of babes. I might not be a child, but I'm still younger than you and somebody's child. Or yeah, I'm still coming up.
Go there. I
So
get it.
I have so
I
many
get
people
that.
that are further ahead of me,
Hmm.
that are older than me, that pour into me on a regular basis, and I love it like that.
Hmm.
I've always thrived in environments that older people have been my influences.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I've always been told, Princess, you got such an old soul.
Mm.
And at first I didn't understand it, but now I appreciate it. Thank you. That's a
Yeah,
compliment.
yeah, right. It
I'll
really
take
is.
it. She'll take it. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. It's like I've done this before.
Oh yeah.
I love you too, Laura. Yeah, be a good example, period. Yep.
Hmm.
Indeed.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Hey, Laura, how you been, girl? I haven't seen your catchphrase for a while. Anybody heard Laura say "dale" lately?
Say what?
Dale.
I
She
ain't
got
heard
an
that
answer.
catchphrase. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know. I ain't know.
But Laura, I hope you're doing absolutely amazing, ma'am. There you go. There you go. There you go. I love it.
I think I thought that said Dale.
What is it saying? What does that mean?
Dale. She said, I am.
Okay.
I thought it said Dale.
I'm very weak at that though,
But
Carrie.
actually, at some point, I would absolutely love to have Laura on here too, because she's somebody that is a member of our tribe that has gone through a lot of growth in just
Mm.
the
Oh yeah,
last
oh
2 years.
yeah.
And so, Laura, you better be
Also,
ready for that interview, ma'am.
if
Mm-hmm.
So,
y'all have
before we jump off of
Instagram,
here, Princess, please share with us what
That
you
was
would like to
another
leave
laugh I had
everybody
to
with
really
this
hold
evening.
back. So I was about to go
um,
in.
oh, you're fine. What'd you say, Brandy?
I said, please leave us with what you would like everybody to know before we jump off of here this evening. What is that one thing that you think everybody should know, whether it's about you or how you pour into people, or just a message that's sitting on your heart that you need to share right now?
Um, mm, the one thing I want any and everybody to know, and I had to, in order for me to say it to you, I must have had to experience it myself. So this is what it is. Um, when you choose to do nothing, nothing will happen. But when you choose to make that first step, you've already won.
Mm,
So please keep moving, keep stepping in that direction that you're truly trying to be
mm,
in. And just remember, give yourself grace. You're a human being.
mm.
Give yourself grace. Don't be too hard on yourself because you don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So I'm here to help. I am here to help.
Mhm.
I can put my contact information.
Please do.
Yeah,
Most
I'll
definitely.
put my contact information there. But I just had to share that with y'all, and I'll be officially announcing it on my own social media networks tomorrow. So
Yes. So, you guys, that is the end of tonight's show. But we would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for showing up this week and showing up strong for us. The few weeks that we've been on here, we're going to continue to grow, evolve, have amazing guests on. And as Carrie said earlier, if you want to be a guest, drop a me in the comments and we'll
Yes.
get with you, let you know some of the topics that are coming up, and get you scheduled. So, with that, we love
Yes.
you guys and we will see you next week.
Ashay.
thank
Bye.
you. Bye.